Hey everybody, it's Missy at Missy's Yarniverse and More. Welcome back. If you are new here, welcome in. I hope you enjoy my little video journey. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. I love you all. You guys make this so much fun, and I really enjoy the talking with all of you that are reaching out and discussing things with me and asking me questions and all that fun stuff. So, why are we here today? Today is Amigurumi Monday. And what does that mean? For those of you who are new, I love amigurumi. I am a self-proclaimed amigurumi addict, and I love making amigurumi more than making anything else almost. And I always have an amigurumi on my hook of one sort or another. I rarely keep the amigurumis I make. Most of them are either gifted, but the majority of them are donated. Um, the majority of the ones that are donated go out to the wonderful organization of hospice, which you will hear me talk a lot about. So, what amigurumi did Missy do this past week? Did I even get one done? As a lot of you know, I have had a lot of family stuff going on, and now Brian is sick, and so I'm trying to keep up with all that because I'm not trying to get sick. So those of you who have a household, you know what that entails, and it is no fun. So, yeah. So, the amigurumi I chose to do, seeing as how we're in the holiday season, is another B.Crochet-tive pattern. And for those of you who are returning, you know that I do love Brittany from B.Crochet-tive, although she is no longer writing patterns and has had to step away from all that and no longer crocheting due to health issues. And so therefore no longer has social media or anything. But she does have an Etsy and a Ravelry shop. So what pattern did I do from Brittany's little okay, I don't know if that was important. I'll check it later. What pattern did I do from Brittany's vault, I should say, because I do have almost every single one of her patterns, which I think could potentially be a new segment for the coming year, to go along with my Amigurumi Monday, to kind of start making all these wonderful patterns that she has written that I own. And that would be so fun to see how many I could get done in 2025. And yeah, I'm thinking now. I'm really thinking. But what pattern did Missy do before I became long-winded? I did the Catch Me Outside gingerbread doll. Like I said, B.Crochet-tive from Brittany. Very beginner friendly, I should say. There's a few parts that are a little, if you're new to amigurumi, would be maybe a little confusing, but she does realize that, and she even tells you in the pattern that she is going to break that section down stitch by stitch to get you through what she needs you to do to get this. Now, I thought I had a ball of yarn called Gingerbread. If I did at some point, I'm not sure where it went to or if it got used in a project, and I cannot remember the brand. So I'm going to be getting online and trying to track that colorway down because I did like it. If it's even made anymore, I don't know. I'll have to figure that one out. So, since I couldn't find gingerbread, I found the closest one that I could. And that, oops, I'm trying to make a mess here, would be Big Twist Value out of Joann's. And the colorway is Camel. Very, very close to the gingerbread color. And it's 100% acrylic and 380 yards or 347 meters, 6 ounces or 170 grams. This was not a full skein. I actually think I could potentially get 2 more out of what's left in this. And I've started a second one. I have. And I got the arms done. So, in this pattern, basically, she has you start with the feet. You make one, and then you start a second one, and then you end up crocheting them together, and then working up the body, and then you stop, and then you make the arms, and then you make a head, and then you sew on the arms and the head. I try to tweak patterns to make them more no-sew than, what did I say that right? I try to make them more no-sew than they are whenever possible. So I figured out where, going through the pattern, where I would be joining the arms, sewing them on afterwards, so that I did the arms first, and then I started with the feet, worked my way up, and then when I came to the part where I would have sewed the arms on after it was done, I actually worked the arms in as I did that round. That way I didn't have to sew them on afterwards because I didn't want to. And it makes it so much easier. And then she actually has you make the head separate, which the majority of her patterns she doesn't. So I'm thinking this was one of her patterns when she very first started. And as she went on, she started making things more no-sew-ish. So what I did was, so I wouldn't have to do that, I actually worked the body up to the neck to where I thought it would be a nice neck for stability. And then I had to do a round and add 4 additional stitches so that I could start on the head at that same amount of stitches. And I started working the head backwards because when you start the head, when it's separate, you're starting at the top and working your way down. And so what I did was I got it to the point where I would be, I think it was 24 stitches. And I started working the pattern backwards. And before I closed it up, I went ahead and added my safety eyes. And yeah. So I used the camel, which was a partial skein, basically a scrap skein, almost ready to be scrap balled up. And I used everything else I used was little scrap balls that I have them everywhere. They're about this size, if not smaller. Hence why I have started this scrap granny, because I have so many of those scrap balls in bins, baskets, totes, and I've got to start getting them under control because it's almost like gremlins. I think when you turn out the lights, I don't know if you're even having to feed the stash. Maybe I am feeding the stash and that's why they're multiplying. I don't know. But anyhow, that's what I did. If somebody is getting this pattern and they want to make it and that made no sense to them and they want to do it the way I did, feel free to email me or message me if you have my information, and I will break it down and tell you exactly what I did. I'm going to have to turn the volume down on this. I don't know. I think there's some family drama starting. But anyhow, yeah, just feel free to message me if you plan on making this, and I'll break it down for you and make it super, super simple. And it actually made it quicker to make, honestly. After I figured out what I needed to make it no sewish. And I'll show you the only parts that I actually sewed. Um, so here he is. And I did the boy version. I plan on trying to make the girl, which is what I have started. This is going to be a hospice donation. My contact is coming down on Wednesday. We are meeting at our local coffee shop as we always do. We sit and chit chat, crochet a little bit for about an hour or so, have a frappuccino or a coffee or a hot tea or boba tea or whatever it is each individual person drinks. But I used the camel on the body and a little bit of scrap white, which that ball is almost gone. And then I used the scrap white and scrap red on the little toboggan and made a little pom-pom. And I tied it down on the inside so it is not coming off. And I used little scrap balls of the uh, turquoise, the Grinch green, and the red for his little buttons. Made a little mouth, which hers does not have one. And the pattern calls for 20 to 22 millimeter safety eyes. I did not have 22 millimeter. Those are hard to find. But I normally have like 18, 20, 24. And I think I have some 28s and then 30s. And then I have a bunch of smaller ones. But I buy them in bulk by the size on Amazon. And these are 20 millimeter. Yes, I use 20 millimeter. And I did them in like this, it's like a um dark gold. Because I figured that they would go really well with the gingerbread look. And basically the only sewing I did, because like I said, I made the arms first, and then I started with the 1 foot, made the second one, and when you get to the second one, then you start attaching them and sewing around to create the torso, and you go up, and I had figured out where the arms were going to be sewn on, so I just attached them as I went on that round, so I wouldn't have to sew them on later. And then when I got the neck width that I thought was a good size so that his head isn't like flopping all over, um, the way the body worked up, it was like 20 stitches. And I didn't go down to the smaller, closing it. I think it went down to 10, and then you would make the head separate and sew it on. So I got it to 20, but then I had to do a round and add 4 additional stitches. And on the head part, I worked the head backwards in the pattern and started with the 24, went to 48. And I think it was, I want to say 48 stitches was at the biggest point. Yes. And did like 12 rounds of 48 and then started doing the decrease, which if I would have made the head separate and sewed it on, it would have started up here and increased and then did 12 rounds of the same and then decreasing. So I just did it backwards. And I actually like how it turned out better. That way I did not even have to sew the head on. He was basically all one piece, except for doing the 1 foot separate, but you add it on as you're going around after you make the second one, and the arms. And then I made the little hat. The hat was super quick. And like I said, it was scraps. The hat maybe all together with making the pom-pom, and then I whip stitched it on so it's not going to fall off and get lost. Maybe an hour-ish to get that done. So yeah, this is the little gingerbread man, and he's going to live with someone in hospice on Wednesday, when she picks up the blankets. And the rag doll and whatever else we've gotten ready for her. Not sure if I can get this second gingerbread man done. If not, then it'll be a donation for something else for another day. Potentially. So yeah, this is short, brief, sweet, and to the point today with the amigurumi that I've got going on. I was going to update you on the Amigurumi Advent that I had purchased a while back that started on December 1st. And I had showed you last week the snow globe, which was the leading up to it before the patterns actually started dropping every day in your email or in your Ravelry. I'm still getting them. The smaller pieces and parts will continue to come out daily until December 24th. That is the final day. And there was also the bonus pattern. I made the bonus pattern, the little bullfinch that I showed you last week, and I can't find it. Binks, our baby kitten, well, she's a little over a year old, has stolen it again, and I'm assuming she has stashed it somewhere so I cannot find it. So, and that's okay. She can have it. I did not like how that worked up. Um, I am hoping that the other pieces of that Amigurumi Advent, when I get a chance to sit and actually make some of them, I hope they actually are cuter than that hot mess bird. If I find it, if Binks happens to bring it out, I will stash it in here and I will show you on another Amigurumi Monday. I just was not pleased with it. And I used the colors that were close to what they were calling for in the pattern, and I didn't like it. Um, so that's fine that she ran off. I call her my klepto kitty. Um, she's all the time stealing stuff. Um, I have to really watch her because she will take off with amigurumi body parts before I have a actual surgery day to sew things together. Um, so yeah, I will update, I think, on that one next week. Hopefully, because I've gotten some other things done. Hopefully, I will get a chance to try and work up a few of those. And if I don't like them, I'm going to call this Amigurumi Advent a bust. I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping it was just a one-time thing where that bullfinch just, at least I hope so. Fingers crossed. But anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. I have yammered on long enough for one amigurumi, but I hope you like him. He does not have a name besides Catch Me Outside, which I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he needs a name, but he's, like I said, he's being donated on Wednesday. So I will put him in an organza bag and get the paperwork ready to go with him. Because usually with the amigurumis, I put them all in their own organza bag so that it looks better when it's gifted to the hospice patient when they take it to them. Which reminds me, I've got to order more organza bags here soon. And we also have to fill out a paperwork sheet for each individual thing that we donate because they have to track the donations and where they're going and stuff like that for their computer. And that helps them stay non for profit. So I am only happy to do that. So with that, I guess I'm going to let you go on this windy, rainy, chilly Monday we have going on here. If it was colder, it would definitely be snowing, but it's not. So I'm kind of bummed about that because if I'm going to be trapped in my house and not being able to get a whole lot done in the outside world, which I'm choosing not to do, I'm trying to do as much online as I need to. And as far as the grocery store, I'm trying to just do an online order for pickup. I'm not trying to get sick, guys. The struggle is real this time of year. Um, yeah, I'm not trying to get taken out by the crud. So, with that, I'll let you guys go. I hope you have a great rest of your Monday, and I hope you have a great week, and I hope you're enjoying the holiday season. I hope if you are working on projects and Christmas gifts or donations, I hope that you're getting as much done as you intend to. And with that, I'm just going to say life is not perfect, so be kind. Try to create something new every day and keep reaching for the stars and your yarn. Love y'all. Bye.